Yo, how's it going, peeps? How's it going? Happy Wednesday. Yeah, you know the deal by now. We're just having a little chat. This is only going to be like half an hour or something. Just a little chat about Final Fantasy 12 because we just finished playing it on the channel. What we thought, what we hated, what we didn't like. Hello, Claudio. Hello, Al. How's it going? Praise the sun. Yeah, we'll be doing some more Praising the Sun on Friday. Gonna complete Dark Souls 1.
So you have lived.
But yeah, you know the deal. We're just gonna have a little chat about it and see how garbage it is. I'm only joking, Ace. nah, it's really good. It's really good. So yeah, as always, I can only... Hello, Zodiac. Just to say, I can only accept... I'm only accepting questions from the members. I know it sounds really bad, but it's kind of one of the perks of being a member. So if I then start taking questions from non-members, it kind of invalidates the fact that I've offered it as a perk to members. So yeah, we've got some questions in. There's a members only section in the Discord, and I've got some questions in there to go through. Obviously, I've got some thoughts of my own as well.
Is it not because you defend your plaza?
But yeah, let's go. Hello, Murdy. How's it going? Yeah, we as always. We got, okay, I was gonna say I wasn't sure. Thank you for letting me know, Claudio. I wasn't sure how loud the background music would be. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to test it without live streaming and then listening it back, like doing a live stream and then listening back to it myself. So I've just lowered it a bit there. Like, let me know if it's alright now, and if not, I'll lower it a bit more or whatever. But yeah, so let's why not start with Al's question, which is, why is Vaughn so bloody irritating? He expects a fully unbiased critique. I think he's just... Yeah, I agree he's a bit annoying. But he's just a bit nothing, isn't he? Like, he's just a bit like vanilla. You know, like he doesn't really have a big role in the story, which is weird because he's the character that you control. I mean, obviously he has a part in the story, but it's not like he's not far and away the main character story-wise. And I guess he just falls into that stereotypical Final Fantasy thing of being blonde, spiky-haired, a bit whiny-ish. The fans must know. It's weird because even people like Ace, who like absolutely love the game and like it's one of his favorite games of all time, still thinks that Vaughn is garbage. How did Al like Tidus put this like spot? Oh, come on. Tidus goes on a journey, man. Tidus like... Tidus go, like, you know, he starts off as a bit of an idiot, young, you know, childish thing. And he goes on a proper journey, man. And it's, you know, and there's all the stuff with his dad and... Yeah. Tidus has got feelings. Anyway, yeah, Vaughn's not that great. But I don't hate him.
I would ask
like,
you the same. Let this
if
end.
I was making like a list of like top 5 most hated Final Fantasy characters, he would not even... He's not even in the running. he just isn't in the running for the top 5 favorite either. Like, he's just vanilla. He's
then live and reclaim it.
Yeah, Claudio has asked what I thought of the story. It's pretty good. It's not like, I mean, I don't know, it's like it didn't at times it was a bit hard to follow. It all kind of came through in the end. Unlike 8. Sorry, Al. At least by the time I got to the end of 12, I knew exactly what was going on, who everyone was, what had happened. I kind of understood. I'm really ill, by the way, if I sound funny. Coronavirus. I haven't. But yeah, yeah, at least by the end of this, I knew what was going on. And yeah, I mean, I guess it's the kind of thing. It's the same problem. I don't know if anyone's ever read. It's not so bad if anyone's ever read Lord of the Rings, but read it before they watch the films. Like, if you've seen the films, then it's easy because you can kind of read it and you can put the you can put the pictures from the film to the names, and so it's a lot easier. but I read it before the films even came out. And if you read Lord of the Rings, it's just like it's a good book, but it's like crazy weird name, and it's like you're half an hour in and you're like, Jesus, I don't know who anyone is, I don't know, like, you know, it just tells you like the relations, you know, you just forget who's related to who and everything.
No more and no less.
Oh, I've got a good PS1 emulator. I already used it for something. I don't know.
Such a woman is not
but yeah,
fit to bear
I've
the
got
burden
most
of rule.
consoles covered.
Weep
Emulation
for
wise.
Dalmasca, for
Not
she
that
is
I would ever
lost.
do something so dastardly as that. But yeah,
Observe where
cheers,
lies
Claudio. It's nothing major. I'm just a bit
Watch
sneezy.
and mark you. The
If I can make it
suffering
through
of
the
one
stream
who
without
must
sneezing,
rule,
I'll be
yet
well
lacks
happy.
the power.
But yeah, no, I thought the story was pretty decent. It really came
brother.
together at the end.
I will not. Though I lack your power,
Like
I will
that
still
last,
persist.
you know, it was losing me a bit in the middle, and then that
Bold
last,
words,
that
child.
last whole thing with Bash and Gabranth, I really liked that. I really liked that whole like summary that Pinello did, and the song that is on the end is quality. You know, the one that's actually got like singing in it. That might be my favorite song, or my favorite bit of music from the game. Yeah, I know. My mum used to always say that. Get a notepad down, note down everyone's name. I didn't have the patience. I just forgot instead. That's my stress. I remember Dark Joe, or maybe some of the commentators saying exactly that. The story kind of dropped in the middle. Yeah, a little bit. But then, as I say, like I felt it came together really well at the end. You know, and it was exciting, and it, you know, like it wasn't. I don't know. It didn't just feel like kind of just going through the motions, and like, which, to be fair, there are some games where that's fine. Like I always say this, like for me to really like a game, usually it's either got to have amazing gameplay or amazing story. Very occasionally you'll find one that's got both, but I'm happy for a game to either have one or the other. Like Dark Souls, amazing gameplay, pretty crappy story. Shenmue, amazing story, pretty crappy gameplay, if I'm honest. As much as I love it, you know, I can do both, but it has to have one or the other. And this has got amazing gameplay, so even if the story had been garbage, I could have lived with it. But it was pretty decent. Who, in my opinion, is the main character of Final Fantasy XII? Well, this is the one that Claudio's been going on about since we started. Hey? Sorry, Al. I mean, it's not that, you know what I mean. It's not like Shenmue gameplay is like, you know, if you were trying to sell it to someone, then that's not, you wouldn't say, oh my god, you gotta play Shenmue, like, it's the platforming's amazing, or, you know, I don't know, like, you wouldn't sell it as like, you know, I've triggered both of you in the same sentence. Alright, non-existent story if you don't read the items. Or go away and read about it online. It's got lore, Moldy. Lore. But yeah, so the main character, yes. I mean, see, the thing is that the gotta play Shenmue horse dance is mind blowing. I could do that all day. If only there was a trophy on the platinum for like 1,000 hours of horse dance, I'd probably have it, because you've got to. Yeah, main character. So yeah, so my default is always to think of the main character as being the person that you control the most, because that's kind of like, I don't know, in my head it's like, well, surely they should make it that way. Surely they should make it that you control the person who has the biggest like impact in the world, and the, you know, is where the story's kind of centered around them. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's more about, and I think this is true of 12 and it's true of 6, where it's more about the world than it is about one person's journey. Like, you know, 10 is all about Tidus and Yuna and the journey together, and they're both growing and stuff. And 7 is all about an individual's journey. But this and 6 are a lot more about like the world and like just a group of. Because it's one cool thing that I did point out a bunch of times throughout the playthrough is that I thought it was quite cool that in like a bunch of cutscenes everyone chips in. Like usually it's like you get like I don't know. Like most RPGs, you might have a cast of 6 people, and you all walk in to speak to the guy that you're supposed to be speaking to or whatever, and a cutscene starts, and the main character speaks, and maybe like the right-hand person speaks, and everyone else just stands in the background silent, and like for the whole game they're just like non-existent. Whereas in this, you'd go into cutscenes, sometimes Ash would be speaking, sometimes Balthier, sometimes Franz, sometimes Bash, sometimes Penelo. Well, it's funny that I've picked Varn last, but he did speak sometimes too. But yeah, like, there was a really even split of how much everyone was involved in cutscenes and stuff. It wasn't just like the main character and screw everyone else. Claudio's thought that 8, 9, and 10 are very much love stories in their own right. I mean, 10 is the ultimate love story. It is. It's like, as much as I love 7, I think 10's got a better story. I prefer 7, I think, but 10's got the best story, I think, of any. Yeah. I mean, okay, maybe it's not true of all RPGs, but like I think. Like some orange chips in a bit. Riku's got a fair bit going on. Obviously, they've all got their own little stories as well, like Kamari and the Mountain. I love Kamari. I wish he'd got more of it. I wish he'd got more stuff and was less garbage as an actual character, like fighting wise. But yeah. So anyway, I've gone way off track here. There's a good split of all character involvement, but. Varn, I can't in good faith say that Varn is the main character. For me, I've heard people say maybe Bash. I don't really get that. Maybe there was bits of the story that just kind of went over my head or something. I don't really get how you could say that Bash is the main character. I would say that Ash. I don't, you might mishear me. Ash, not Bash. So I would say Ash is probably the main character. I mean, it is all about her journey, isn't it? It's her, like, it's that dilemma of, should I use? It's almost like the Triforce or whatever. Should I use this great power to save, to do good? But then you never end up doing good, do you? You always get turned to the dark side. Should I use this great power for vengeance, or, just destroy it? It was originally planned, but that's most of it. Bash is mostly on what I shared on Discord. Oh, okay. Yeah, Balthier's Balthier's definitely like a very good right-hand man. Like I'd say that Ash is number 1 and Balthier's like number 2 in terms of like main characterness. Yeah, exactly. They usually just stick other characters in just because you need a team full of people, don't you? So, they can't exactly be like, well, we only bothered writing stories for 2 people, so you're gonna have to play the whole game with 2 characters. My bad. No worries, no worries. Better than 1 or 3 where there's really no character other than you're the hero. Yeah, well, I let them off in the NES days. I mean, it's pretty poor that they didn't. I can't remember which one it was. Someone said that one of them they don't even, or maybe more than one of them, they don't even give them names, do they? They're just called like Warrior, Red Mage, or whatever. Come on, could they not have come up with a name? Instead, I mean, I don't know. That seems mighty lazy. I don't know. Is it some kind of translation problem or something? I don't know. That's what everyone blames everything on. Oh, is it 2 that... Maybe it's 2 that doesn't give them names? You'll never go back to it, Al. To be honest, I mean, it's not massively surprising. It's like you meet the bad guy pretty early on in the game. So... yeah. They're like, I think the game's really fun to play. So I'd do it for that alone. They only do that in the first Final Fantasy. Nobody has names, just warrior, thief.
He is a good master.
Oh, okay. So you get to name you can name them. It's just that the game doesn't name them for you. Okay. Yep. And last question. It's a good one because it's it's a tough one. Claudio asking me what my favorite mechanic is in Final Fantasy XII / which one am I gonna totally miss when I go back to RPGs. And honestly, you'll be happy to hear this, Ace, but there are so many mechanics that I love in this game. Obviously I'm a big fan, I'm a big speed freak, and I'm impatient, so I love the whole 2x 4x thing. And that's just like common, seems to be becoming common in ports. Like, I'm not saying that's my number one, by the way, but I'm just saying that it's something I like. I like it in Final Fantasy 7. I like it in Final Fantasy 9. I think I've got it. They did it in 8. I think they did it in 9 as well. I think. But yeah, like, it just seems to be a common thing that they add in now when they port it. And it's quite nice, because, like, for the bits where it's just, like, a bit slow-paced, or you're just going across a long distance and, you don't need to focus, it's like, why not get there faster? It's a waste of my time. You don't even have default names unless you count question marks. But yeah, so I do like that, but it's not my number one. I think the number one thing, and I don't think anyone's going to be that surprised, my favourite thing about Final Fantasy XII, and it is probably going to be the hardest thing to go back to in classic RPGs, but I can live with it,
eager to learn what has happened
is
here.
the fact that there's no, like,
History begins anew.
all the random battles are just flow in the world. None of this, like, 5-second animation at the start of a battle, then you do the battle. 5-second animation at the end of a battle, then you take 2 steps. Oh, it's the animation again. Yeah, like, I mean, did you have it, like, I mean, someone's got to do the maths one day. Like, going from just through one area must take so much time must be spent just on battle transitions. Like, you see that, you go through some areas in Final Fantasy X where the encounter rate is high, and it's like, you must see that animation at least 50 times. That's just this is so unnecessary. I mean, it's kind of like the thing of, like, sometimes if a summon takes a really long time, you get a bit fed up watching it. Like in Final Fantasy 7 or whatever. No one wants to watch Knights of the Round every 2 minutes, do they? It's like, it looks cool when you see it, but when you've seen it for the 10th time, it's like, let's get a move on. I know. No, but, like, as I say, I'm sure I'll be totally fine to go back to it. And it didn't, okay, no worries, Claudio. Oh yeah, that reminds me. That's the thing, because the in-game volume is significantly quieter than the cutscene volume. That's probably why you've just picked up on it, Claudio. Yeah, the cutscenes just start booming. Like when we're kind of, when Emma's editing the episodes, she'll kind of lower the gameplay volume for cutscenes and stuff. But this is like the raw footage, unedited. They didn't completely get rid of the end of battle thing. Yeah, I suppose you still get a bit of a fanfare at some of the bosses and stuff. And like there's a little thing when you collect an Esper and stuff. But no, that's what I was going to say. So yeah, I've been playing Lost Odyssey, and it hasn't annoyed me there. So like, I'm totally like ready to go back to it. It's not like I'm going to be like, right, I hate RPGs now. When I did my no encounters on the Final Fantasy 7, my overall time was about 5 hours less. Oh yeah, like obviously some of that will be the fact that you weren't doing encounters, but a big chunk of it will be that you didn't have the battle animations either. People would riot if they don't have the victory theme. I know. They've even got it in they've even got it a bit in 15. and like the characters go around humming it, which is a bit weird. Favorite character in 12? No, I haven't answered it, and it's Balthior, I would say. Yeah, I mean, like as a story-wise, definitely Balthior. Second place, probably Fran. I like Fran. You know, Varn and Penello are a bit meh. Bash is decent. Ash is decent. But I think, especially like they go well together. Like the combo of Balthior and Fran. I think I'm okay with the battle transition, but the open animations are what annoy me. You mean? Do you mean the open? Oh, are you talking about you like the ones at the end, but not the ones at the start? Suave. He is a dude. He is, yeah, his voice is quality. That was the first, like, I mean, I really like the voice acting in this, like, just in general, but it was his voice that, like, his was probably the first voice where I thought, whoa, this is, like, I like this voice acting. Is it down in front, yeah. I'm just catching up on what people were saying. Oh yeah, favourite character, yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of all of the questions. That'd be the gambit cell. Yeah, they're like all people's questions. I mean, there was a few things I wanted to say, and my mind's gone completely blank. Oh yeah, like one of the things that I thought was weird is that it's kind of like, and it's not a complaint, but it's honestly it's not a complaint. It's more of an observation. It seemed quite low on the dungeons, didn't it? Like I'm trying to think of how many dungeons there were. There was the Tomb of Ash's dad. I think there was a couple of other tombs, maybe one of the tomb, and then the horrible one, the first, second, third ascent at the end. But I think the whole game only had about 4 dungeons or something. Or maybe I've just forgotten some of them. I mean, it doesn't really matter because I guess half of the dungeons were like just traversing areas. So like going across the sand sea. I get it's not a dungeon because it's outdoors, but I guess you could, you know, it's getting from A to B and fighting stuff along the way. But yeah. So if you count the forests and the deserts and stuff, I guess there's a bit more. But that, oh my god, that horrible. That's one thing I want to say. This game's quality. I really enjoy it. Like this is one of the Final Fantasies that I could see myself replaying more than most of the others. Just because it's quite easy to play and it's quite fun. It's quite, you know, it's quite chill and not very stressful. But god, that dungeon. Yeah, I think if I ever do that final dungeon again, you know, the one that's really the final dungeon, the one that's garbage. I'll be using a walkthrough, I think. That was horrendous. Everyone said the Great Crystal was like, you know, a bit of a maze and hard to get round. I found that easy. I don't know, I just naturally seemed to go the right way or whatever. But god, that first, second and third ascent. Well, the first one wasn't so bad. The second one and the third one were horrible. I probably just got, I don't know, maybe I just got unlucky or whatever, I don't know. But it was a troublesome time. It's quite funny that by the end, the only thing that could hurt me, I mean, I think it was Ace that said this as well, that by the end, the only thing that could do some serious damage was the fact that some of the enemies had reflect on them, and my own spells from Fran were so beastly that they were killing me. But apart from me being able to kill myself, like, no one could touch me. Yeah, I'll go along with that. Yeah, 8 was pretty chill. I didn't really get stuck at all in 8 until the very end. Which, yeah, that was like a... I don't know, like, I know that I kind of missed a bunch of stuff in 8. Like I missed a bit of understanding and I didn't know about the enemies leveling up and all that stuff. But... it was such a spike. Like... you'd think if I was really bad at the game, I'd have struggled all the way, but I didn't. I breezed through it, got to the end, and then it was just like, what the hell is going on? I cannot do this. Like, the difficulty spike for that final boss, is unreal. Although, to be honest, I kind of got a bit... I mean, the end game boss in this was a bit of a joke because of how OP I was. I think the end game boss in 9, I think I got lucky there.
How about some of this?
50 million HP super boss. I mean, how long? Say you're like... Because Ace, you probably know like how to... Like, the meta builds and stuff. You probably know, like, the absolute best armor, setups, gambits, spells, you know, and all that. If you're, like, the pet... And say you're, like, pretty much maxed out everything. You're an absolute monster. Even still, how long would it take to kill that super boss? Yeah, Adele took me away. Was Adele the one where, like, Renoa was kind of part of it? A minimum of half an hour. Okay, that's, you know. But half an hour is not... I thought you were going to say, like, 2 hours. I remember I saw... I mean, obviously it's slightly different, but I saw someone beat... I didn't watch it all, obviously, because I'm not a sadist. You know, I'm not made of time. But it was someone who beat Sister Frida. Who's, by the way, if anyone doesn't know, she's a DLC boss in Dark Souls 3. He beat Sister Frida on Soul level 1, so no leveling up at all. It's one of the hardest bosses in the game, and it's a 3-phase boss. It's 3 different phases for the boss, and he did it with just bare fists, and it took 3 hours, and that wasn't 3 hours of attempts. That was 3 hours. That was the one successful attempt was 3 hours long. Can you imagine that? Like, can you imagine getting 2.5 hours in, you're on the final phase, and then she just kills you? My god. Balance of the game is messed up when they move from internet. Yeah, I mean, that's what I hear. Like, I mean, it was a bit too easy, to be honest, but that didn't put me off. But I mean, there are things that you know, you were telling me, and other people have told me that they got really annoyed. They got really annoyed going across the sand sea and stuff like that in the original. And maybe I'd have got a bit annoyed with it if I wasn't doing it at 4 times speed or whatever. So I don't know. I liked the speed option. Maybe it didn't need to be so easy, but still have the speed option. I don't know. But then I guess if it was harder, I wouldn't have felt so confident to just be like, yeah, whatever. I'll just one-shot them all anyway. In International, you had access to 1 job. Zodiac gave you 2 jobs, but they didn't change the game to the... Surely, though, did the 1 job not less license grids boosts? Oh, okay, so so like less like boosts to your strength, boosts to your HP, and all that. Yeah, Al. Al loves that episode. That is, I mean, honestly, anyone who's sat and watched that episode in full, man, you deserve a medal. That was, it was hard to. I mean, I think by the time you guys saw it, I think it was 2 hours. For me, it was 4 hours, which is horrendous. 4 hours I spent recording to fight that boss, and that's why I was kind of like. I mean, this went the total other way. Oh my god, that is insane now. That is absolutely nuts. Yeah, like, that's why, I mean, this went the total other way of being possibly too easy, but that's why I was kind of, when I was getting to the end of this, I was kind of thinking, yeah, you know what, like, for once I'm going to fight an end game boss, and it's going to be pretty chill, and I'm not going to, like, tear my hair out. Yeah, it'll be like the Fume Night Ace. One day I'll just spring it on you, I'll be like, yes, it is. Once I finish my current playthrough, I'm going to replay it, but not get the second jobs to see how much of a difference it makes. You played the original though, right, Ace? I mean, someone, I think it was Moldy actually, was saying about playing it with no jobs. Then
you're in charge. I'm checking the
that must be hell. Like, I mean, obviously, sure, you're going to miss out on the, you know, you're going to miss out on the health upgrades and the strength upgrades. That's one annoying bit. But you're also going to have to use the very base weapon for every character, and you're not going to have access to any spells, any curing, any, like, that must be absolutely horrific. I mean, is it even beatable without jobs? I mean, it must be. Someone's done it, haven't they? Someone's done everything. But that sounds like a completely crazy. I love this bit, by the way, with Bash and Gabranth.
Look after Lasso.
Played the OG, definitely remember it being much harder, especially now that I'm playing, yeah, the Zodiac Age. I didn't do it, but that's my plan for Final Fantasy 3 challenge them. I mean, I don't know what, yeah, I don't know how much of a difference it would make for 3, but for 12 it seems like it would be impossible. But I don't know, nothing, yeah, people do everything like this. In the original, at the end, you were pretty OP, but before that it was way harder. Okay. I guess it's one of those things as well. I mentioned this, didn't I, throughout the game, that it kind of depends what order you do things in. You know, it's always the case with these games where there's optional stuff. It's like, you know, like I remember there's you know, in Bloodborne, you can do loads of the bosses in different orders. So it just so like I remember Bear Delert was like really excited to see me get to some to this certain boss that he'd like struggled with tons. And he struggled with it because for him it was like one of the very first bosses in the game, but I didn't discover it until the very end, and by that point I was just like way stronger than Bear, then I just absolutely like annihilated it.
We have signed a ceasefire with the Shelly of
and like, so yeah, it's just I guess it depends what order, like if you do like you know, if you do loads and loads of side missions and hunts and all that stuff, then by the time you get back to the hey, Karuna, how's it going? Still watching episode 15. You're about halfway then, I think. I think we this was one of the shortest ones. Usually it's like 30 odd episodes, but we blasted through this one with ease. I hope you're enjoying it anyway. But yeah, so I completely forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, it was good.
Evilise looks to the horizon.
Yeah, I don't know if it could be. Oh yeah, so I was saying about the different, you know, like if you do loads of side missions, then when you get around to doing the main stuff, you're going to be OP. But if you focus on, if you do it the other way and you just do the main story, then when you get around to doing the hunts, then you're going to be really OP for that. So it's kind of like, you know, if you do loads of one, the other's always going to be easier. I guess. There's Larsa.
Message from the Alexander.
Go on, I will answer as soon as just for you, as soon as you're a regular and it is your favourite game.
I address all ships in Ravanasta's airspace. The Bahamut must not be allowed to fall on the city of Ravanasta.
The only guests I can remember are Larsa and Red Axe.
Madness. Should she fall, the pain
someone remind me if there's any other ones, because you know, I can't make my pick of my favourites if I don't know who the options are. Oh, Vosla, yeah, of course. Well, how could I forget the? Well, it was easy to forget the traitor.
Where are you,
scumbag? I'm joking. It was kind of, he was a traitor, but kind of not. You know, he thought he was doing the right thing. In a way. But yeah, I still think I'd pick Larsa, even if I did spend about 50% of the game thinking that he was a girl. But yeah, Larsa's cool. Also, Larsa seemed to be the only one who actually like chipped in with the healing. Red Ass, I think, just did attacking.
Do you understand exactly what it is you're doing?
It's been so long since I used Vosla, I can't even remember what he did. But I don't think he was with us that long anymore.
My role in this little story. I'm a leading man. You know what they say
yeah,
about
Larsa, what a win. I like that he turned on his brother in the end. He had to, didn't he? Larsa's voiced by a woman in Japanese voices. Ah, really? Okay, well, there you go. Well, actually, I was going to try and take credit for that, but I wasn't listening to Japanese voices, so I can't really be like, well, I was going based on the voice.
Brian?
Oh, thank you, Corona. Thank you. Have a good one. We're going to be wrapping up anyway. Don't worry.
Listen to me, both of you.
Yeah, it's just that we. So yeah, I don't know if you know this, but whenever we do like a series on the channel, at the end of the series we do like just a little stream like this, and I usually do it about a week after the final episode. So yeah, I know you're up to episode 15. I only uploaded the final episode of this last week. And yeah, and then I usually do this little stream just as a little chat about a week after the final episode. That way it gives everyone, well, everyone who's not kind of totally new, gives everyone who's following a chance to kind of get up to date and see the final episode. And then we do a little chat and we just talk about, like, you know, favourite dungeons, favourite characters, favourite music and all that. You know, did I like it, did I hate it? And I haven't said this yet, by the way. But I've mentioned it a couple of times other times, but this is now number 3 for me in Final Fantasies. It's behind 7 and 10, but I you know, I've got massive nostalgia for those, and not to say that I think this is better, but you know, I think those are better, but I don't know how much of that is related to nostalgia and stuff. But yeah, so it goes 7, 10, 30, 12, 13. Jesus, no thanks. Only if I'm doing the list backwards. After the break, what Final Fantasy's next? Oh god. You know, I'm in a sick kind of way. I'm half tempted to do 13 or 15, but if I was to do 13 or 15, I would do it. I would stream it, because you know, I'd take into account the amount of pain that I'm putting Emma through by making her edited. You know what I mean? Like, so
We've lost so much.
You know, like certain games Emma quite enjoys editing, because, well, as much as you can, because it is work, it's hard work, and it takes a long time, and it's pretty boring. But you know, there are certain games where she kind of enjoys it because, you know, she likes the characters, she's following the story or whatever.
Asha's coronation is next month.
And
she grows farther and farther.
And then
away
there are other
from
games
us.
where she hates it, and it's like
be.
editing every episode's a chore,
now,
and Emma
all.
would not want to. Emma would not want to stream 30. It would not want to edit 13 or 15. I can assure you of that.
I am looking forward to seeing you.
I mean, I'm sure she
ceremony.
would if I asked nicely, but you know, I don't. You know, I'd rather not. I'd rather just be nice and just, if I was gonna play it, stream it. Oh, see, that's the thing. That's what people keep saying. If I do 3, I've got to play them all, or I won't understand what's going on. And I know full well I won't understand what's going on. I've already played the first 10 hours of it. I still have no. I played the first 10 hours of it about 3 times.
To further the cause of
13's
peace
so
in
bad that Emma
Eudied.
doesn't even want to
But
edit it.
still,
Yeah,
I
I'm
hope he comes back
totally
to
serious. She
Ravenmaster
hated it.
and Ash
We
soon.
like, you know, because we often
She has
sit
to keep
together
up
and play
appearances
games
now,
together,
so she would
and
never
we
say
have
it, but
together
think
tried
she
to play
misses
that
him.
like 3 different times, and we just give up. The furthest we ever got was we just about met Fang.
Protect him. I would entrust him to no other.
We just, oh, there you go. Claudio's just asked how much have I played of it. We just, like, the furthest I've ever got was, I've played it other times and got less far than this, but my best go is that I just met Fang. It's where, like, doesn't Snow get, like, kidnapped and he's taken on some, like, airship or something, and Fang's on the airship? Something like, I know, something like that. I know we've just about met Fang. Yes, it did go high on the list. Yeah, so it goes 7, 10, 13. After that, I don't know. It'd be probably maybe like 8, 9, 6, something like that. And then I stick 13 and 15 at the bottom. They can fight it out to the death.
Vaughn and I had been taking care of the straw, but it was stolen. We had just
Shame the
finished
story and
having it
end in
tuned
such a
up,
shambolic mess. So is that your biggest problem then, Al? Because I mean, I can live with a shambolic mess if if it's fun to play. You haven't said that the combat's the shambolic mess, so I assume you thought it was at least alright. I only recommended 12 because it's my favourite, but I was pretty sure you
Stolen
wouldn't
might
like
not be
it
the
since
right
it's so
word.
different from
If
yours.
her owner wants
Yes,
her
I
back,
like-
there's not much we can do about it, is
I
there?
don't know. Like, it's really good. Like, I'm trying to think what else it's like, but I can't think of I can't think of another game that I've played. I know it's supposed to be like Xenoblade Chronicles, but I haven't played that. It's kind of like Dragon Age, isn't it? That's because that's what I said in the early days. It's kind of like Dragon Age, but
So Vaughn's going to pay
at least
the two
in
of them a
Dragon Age
visit.
you do actually
You
you
should
do
see
have
him.
to actually
He can
control your
hardly
own
wait.
character, and then you set the tactics for everyone else. In this, and that's how I started playing this game. And then people were like, yeah, you know, you can just set gambits on Vaughn as well. And that's from that point, it was just like, right, put the controller down. I don't have to do
I'll
anything.
be going too, of course. Every good sky pirate needs a partner, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, Owl's description is my description as well. Mash X for 10 minutes. Yes, I know. It is Owl, and that's exact. Emma said the same thing. It is very like Eyes on Me. It's also quite like, you know, it's got that same thing of like it's the only song in the it's the only song in the game that's got lyrics. That's probably my favorite song of the game. I really liked, and that made for like a really good ending, I thought. Because it's 12 and not 8. Mash X. Yeah, see, it's not a particularly yeah, I mean, I agree. You could argue that most action games are that way, and that's why I don't like them. Like, I don't like Devil May Cry. I don't like that. It's why the thought of playing like Hyrule Warriors is just like, ugh. To me, anyway. Like, I don't like a game where I could pretty much just close my eyes and not die. You know what I mean? Like, I want, I mean, obviously the far end of the scale is Dark Souls, which is like proper intense. And you really got to focus. They don't have to all be like that, but I don't, ideally I don't want to be able to just like be able to put a blindfold on and just press the A button or X and just be like, yeah, this is easy. Oh, Tottenham and Norwich have gone to extra time, Al. Come on, Norwich. Can just say 15 was the easiest Final Fantasy game for me. Haven't seen the death screen. Yeah, I heard that as well. It was pretty easy. Again, it's similar to 13. I only got about 10 hours in. Yeah, I can't even remember what I got to. I think I might have found one summon or something. But the summons were weird in that, weren't they? Weren't they just like... They were like story related rather than actually usable, I think. You can tell I didn't get that far, clearly. 15, I wouldn't mind going back. Just because everyone says the story's really good. Except Al, who says it's a complete shambles. Most people say it's good. I had, but that's because the optional dungeons. Oh. Yeah, see, they like that. It's a Final Fantasy thing, isn't it? They love to whack in these like optional extra hard stuff. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I same as Al. I liked the kind of concept and the idea of it being the 4 guys together, and the car's quite cool. And as annoying as it can get, sometimes you end up just fast traveling everywhere and paying the money. And I like the whole. This artwork by the end, by the way, is really nice. I like this. These little hand-drawn pictures at the end. I don't know if they're hand-drawn, but they look hand-drawn. One of the worst endings in a video game I've ever played. Absolutely mind-blowing that people can think the story is really good. I assume most of these people didn't finish the game. Hey, okay, well, at least Moldy. If Moldy agrees that the ending is bad, then it must be. It was just nothing challenging in it because from what I played, it was pretty easy. I mean, I didn't get super far, but usually you can tell the difference. By 10 hours in, you know if it's going to be hard or not. He says as what happened in Final Fantasy VIII happened. I haven't played 15, but I think I never will. Only heard mediocre. So I've heard proper both ends of the scale. I've heard it's like absolutely amazing, and I've heard it's absolute garbage. If I was forced to give an opinion, I would say that mine leads towards it being garbage more than amazing. They just go play Final Fantasy Football with the final boss. But yeah, what were we going to say? I've heard, yeah, I mean, a lot of people say as well that you can, like, the story's a lot better if you play the DLC that they've added on to kind of like beef up the story a bit. But that's a pretty lame thing to say, isn't it? Like, you know, I'm not even getting into Shenmue 3, but that's like, you can't release a garbage game and then go, well, we've got some DLC and that'll improve it. No. Atrocious game. Even the worst Final Fantasy to me, 13.3, is still like a 6 out of 10. I mean, 6 out of 10's like, you know, it's playable. I mean, I haven't played 13.3, but I mean, the score 6 out of 10 says to me, you know, it's playable. I could cope. I could force myself through it once. Yeah, that's what it was, Al. It's my fault. It's my fault. I didn't like it for the. I disliked it for the wrong reasons. Is the thing. That's the thing. Yeah. Yeah, and I liked. Yeah, so Final Fantasy 15. I liked the idea of the guys, and I quite liked the car, and I really liked that you could listen to any music you wanted from the past games, because it meant that I could. Oh no, Corona, what have you done? I love Final Fantasy X. I mean, you know, like I love them all. I saw actually an article saying that someone shared an article the other day saying that apparently, I don't know how they've decided it, but they've said in Japan the most popular Final Fantasy is 10. Apparently, I don't know how they've done it, but they've said like categorically Japanese people think that 10 is the best. But yeah, my favourites are 7 and 10. 12's in 3rd place, 8 is in 4th place, then it's like 9 and 6, and then the trash that I didn't bother completing. Yeah, I know, it's a bit annoying, isn't it, that you can, like, you can't release a full price AAA game and then go, well, we didn't quite finish the story. Do you want to buy this $30 DLC? Because then you'll get to find out how it ends, or whatever. Like, super popular in Japan. It has a lot of their culture in it. Unit dances are full Japanese inspired. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, it's really good. I mean, there's a bunch. I'm not gonna start going into all that again because we're gonna wrap up the stream now. And this is the perfect time to wrap up the stream because we've got literally the credits of the game going on. So it goes, Ace. But yeah, you know, 8-10 has got. I mean, Tuzanakand might be the best piece of gaming music ever. I don't think 10's got the best soundtrack ever overall, but that one song is like unreal. Great characters, best story, the most heartbreaking story of the series. I love the combat, I love the switching out of members, and I love that you can switch them in and out and it doesn't waste a turn, because if it wasted a turn, like in Pokemon, if it wasted a turn, I probably wouldn't do it so much. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to have to switch them out and then they're going to get hit. Don't think I can choose between best overall soundtrack between 8 and 10. Yeah, 10 and 7 are very close for me, and 8 was really good. 8, that was one of the things that I kind of... I remember thinking about 8 as I was playing it. And it's like, I always say this, but it's always a good thing if I think something, to me it is. I always think it's really good if I play something for the first time ever now and I think it's really good, because the stuff like, you know, I love the Link to the Past music and Ocarina of Time music, and they're brilliant, but some of it, they are genuinely brilliant music, but some of it's nostalgia, whereas if I go and then play Final Fantasy 8 for the first time ever and I think it's brilliant, then I know that I think that's brilliant because it's brilliant and there's no nostalgia involved. We see Fran and her two sisters, and even Sid carrying Balthier as a baby. Oh, I must have missed that one. You're alone in saying that. You might go see. Oh no! True. No, it's trash. Oh dear. No, I like them all except 13 and 15, just to lesser degrees. And yeah, he's only kidding. That's a refined version of what they did in X in that game. If someone died, that slot became dead. So if 3 died, that's even the rest are healthy. In 12, you only lose if everyone dies. Yeah, that is true. That's true. And then they both had the sphere grid and license grid, which are both really good systems. But yeah, anyway, guys, I am gonna go. I was gonna go say get some sleep because that's what I usually do when I finish streaming. But I'm not gonna get some sleep now because it's not even 10 o'clock. Apart from if I ever call Scouse trash, that's never enjoy. Yes. No worries, Claudio. It was good fun. So this Friday, Dark Souls 1, SL1, the final. We are going all the way. There's only a couple of bosses left. I haven't played more yet, but I will do. Don't you worry, I need to because we're uploading it very soon again.
How is it that you have survived?
Which is why 15 is the best.
Is it not because you defend Lord Masa?
Yep, fluids and soup. I don't like soup, but I'll definitely go with the fluids. Nah, don't worry, Karuna, don't worry. Everyone's. Do you know what? One of the things that's amazing about this community, Karuna, is that everyone's really nice. So,
I do as I must, brother.
Because if they're not, I kick them
Is
out.
that not answer enough?
Like, I don't know, like, no, like, if anyone's really nasty or like a troll or whatever, I just ban them. Like, I'm not like. I can't be bothered with people being horrible. So, but luckily, I don't know. I just seem to attract nice people. I hardly ever have to ban anyone or whatever. Like, we just seem to naturally get nice people. But yeah, so you can generally be assured that if someone says something a bit like that, they're probably messing about. Because if they were genuinely horrible, I'd have kicked them out. But yeah, anyway, guys. I'm going to be seeing your son on Friday where we're going to finish. We've only got 3 bosses left. I reckon it's not even going to take a full stream. That is my guess. And then next week, we're going to be starting... Just happen to have it nearby. Jedi Fallen Order. We're starting that next week after I've beaten Dark Souls. Cannot wait to smash that. And then it's only a few more weeks and we're going to... well, you're not going to be seeing me play it, but I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. Which I cannot wait. It's gonna be amazing. May the force be with you. And you too, Ace. Right, good night everyone. See you later, peeps. Have a good one.